So the title is, Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that she can't speak Japanese to my parents during Thanksgiving?
Probably.
I, male 35, have met my girlfriend, female 30, at work. We're both interpreters. We've been together for a few months, and Thanksgiving will be the first time she's going to meet my parents. I am half Japanese. My dad is Japanese. My mother is American. My mother learned Japanese so she can connect with my paternal side of my family. Me and my siblings all speak Japanese. However, none of my siblings' spouses do. My girlfriend, Sasha, started learning Japanese before it got popular. She started learning it when she was 14, has both a BA and an MA in Japanese and translation and interpreting.
Cool.
She sounds as close to a native speaker as possible.
Wow.
However, I warned her that she shouldn't try and speak Japanese when meeting my parents or grandparents, and that she's forbidden from using it, even when I'm using it with my siblings. What?
Rude.
Okay. Let's get through it.
Okay.
She asked why, and I told her that I'd hate for my sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws to be uncomfortable because they don't speak it, and I don't want her to become my grandparents/parents' favorite because we've only been together a few months, and it wouldn't be fair if they liked her more than my sister-in-law of 10 years who doesn't speak Japanese.
I don't know if I feel like this is thoughtful or just like fucked up. Like,
the latter.
Yeah.
She said that's ridiculous and she shouldn't have to hide it.
Yeah.
I said that perhaps later when we've been together for longer. She asked if she had to pretend not to understand me and my siblings when we talk, and I said, exactly.
Oh!
She got really weird and went home. She's been kind of distant lately, and I told a friend about this, and they said I was a major asshole.
Yeah.
And if they ask her about her job, does she have to lie as well? I admit I hadn't thought of all that, but I still can't see that I did anything wrong.
What?
So am I the asshole for demanding she lies?
Yes. Weirdo. I don't get that. Like, okay, the only silver lining?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, sliver lining.
It could be both, honestly.
The only sliver or silver lining is that it's like, oh, that's kind of cute that he was looking out for like his other family members and knowing that they might be insecure about the fact that they can't speak Japanese, and like it's like maybe just use it on the next time so that they all get a chance to fairly talk to like my grandparents without them like freaking out over you, like and like so that I don't know, like that was like the only part that I'm like, well, maybe he was just trying to be so loving to like these other like his family members.
Yeah.
But no, that's complete fuckery. That's ridiculous. Like, who says that? It's such a big part of her life, which is why it's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's ridiculous regardless, but the fact that she spent years and years of her life like dedicated to this language when she clearly loves it. It's clearly a part of her. How could you tell her to like hide that? That's so dumb, especially when it's a bonding moment.
Yeah. It's wrong.
Weirdo.
It's wrong on all levels. I think.
Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want her to be like the favorite? It's weird.
I don't necessarily like, I don't think just because she speaks the language is like instantly going to make her a favorite. I think that's kind of like an unjustified fear.
Yeah.
But I think it does show a side. Yeah. Like it does show, I don't know, like if the grandparents lived in Japan and grew up in Japan and maybe just come to, I don't, we have so much missing context. So I'm not even going to assume. I just think it's really, really cool that she does speak their language, and to show that sign of respect, like even a greeting in Japanese might be really beautiful, a great way to connect. Yeah. And it's weird. Like, why are you hiding a part of her?
Yeah.
I also got really weird vibes when I read this line. My girlfriend Sasha started learning Japanese before it got popular.
I thought that too. I was like,
what are you implying?
I don't understand that. I was like, what? Like,
is it now a trend?
I'm confused.
I think overall people are more appreciative of learning new languages. I think there's a big push to learn more languages now. I think we recognize the value in it. Mm-hmm. But this is really goofy to me. And I think it's weird too, where he's worried about her not speaking it to make the sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws not feel left out, but yet he'll still speak Japanese with his siblings.
Yeah, totally.
So why the double standard?
Yeah.
Why are you going to enforce her to not speak it and pretend she doesn't know the language?
Yeah.
Because I think that honestly would go over worse. Because if she does start speaking it down the road and the family is like,
why don't you
hey, when you met us, why did you pretend you didn't know Japanese?
I want to know what his real reason is. There's something else going on. I almost wonder if he is so like, let's say he's not completely sure about their relationship. He's like a little maybe we won't end up together, whether it's he doesn't think that she likes him enough and that she might leave him, or whether he thinks that, you know, he doesn't know if he's totally bought into her. And he knows that the minute she starts speaking like Japanese, that his family is going to pressure him to marry her and be like, this is the one,
Love
this
her.
is amazing.
Yeah.
And they won't ever let him like live it down. And it will fuck with his head, because then he's still trying to figure it out on his own, if they're right for each other, if they're going to be together. And he knows that will like mess with him, because I have a friend who actually
I could see that, but still, it doesn't, like, don't bring her then. Just because you've been dating for a few months doesn't mean you had to make that invite then.
Yeah.
But okay, sorry.
No, it's fine.
An example of me interrupting.
No, I was just going to say, because I was also going on a tangent, but like, and I literally just said on our break, I was like, no more tangential moments, Lauren.
Happened.
Can't make those promises, clearly. But no, I have a friend who was talking about how her mom had, when she brought the last guy home that she was dating, her mom was so excited about him and was saying like, he's the one for you. He's amazing. He's like just everything that we could have ever hoped for you. He's perfect.
Oh God, the pressure.
And then it didn't work out. And so much pressure from her entire family about how wonderful he was, like made the breakup so much worse. And she felt like it just
like a disappointment.
Yeah. Like it really, and like she felt like, I can't find anyone like better that's going to like make my family and make me so happy. Like it just really got in her head. And so her parents actually like ended up being like, we, you know, like anytime you bring a guy home like now, like we actually learned our lesson. We don't want to have too strong of opinions on him, because we want you to be able to make that up for yourself and really be able to think about it. And like, and not have it us be in your head, whether it works out or it doesn't. So it doesn't have such a like, so it's not so taxing on your mental health.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool and like really big of the parents to realize that.
To admit their mistake too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they weren't trying to do a mistake, you know, they were just, but like, yeah, they realized that it.
No, I got that when I started dating Justin. I had family that was like almost comparing like, oh, he's your type. Like so-and-so was just so tall and so this and so that, and it's like, yeah, but so-and-so is a piece of shit. And I'm not with so-and-so.
Yeah.
So like, hey, let's maybe not rehash the past and like make Morgan feel bad. Yeah. And it's like, it's just weird. It's just a weird comment to, so I get that. But there's no comments from him. So nothing to indicate what this is all about.
Dang.
But I don't know. He is 35. Maybe there is some pressure from family to like get married. It sounds like all of his other siblings are.
Yeah.
But I will say, if this were me and I married into a family that spoke another language, like I'm just talking about the sister-in-law, that the sister-in-law has been in this family for 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Why hasn't she taken any initiative to learn that language too? Like now all of these other people are married. This is a part of their family. This is a part of now their culture. Their kids are probably going to grow up speaking Japanese.
Yeah.
Why not take that initiative so like they're not the odd ones out? And like, I get like learning a language is so really, it's hard. It's challenging. It can sometimes be expensive.
Time consuming.
It's challenging as an adult. Like it really is. But at the same time,
especially like, I feel like Japanese, what's the word? Like, the way
pronunciation,
like I feel like Spanish is hard enough for me. Like rolling my R's is just like a it's not happening for me. It's a non-starter. Sometimes I can get it, but mostly not. It's really unfortunate. It makes me sad, actually.
Japanese is considered one of the most difficult to learn by many English speakers.
Yeah.
With 3 separate writing systems as opposite sentence structured English and a complicated hierarchy of politeness, it's decidedly complex.
Yeah, you got to inject that shit in me. Like when I'm
Mandarin's like that too, I think.
Like 6 months old. Like
approximately, it will take 88 weeks or 2,200 hours of studying to become fluent. But there's 52 weeks a year. And like, if your husband spoke it, like I would make that a part of my daily life. I'd be like, honey, can like, when we're preparing dinner tonight, could we maybe talk about like the meal we're preparing and like come up with little phrases? Like also, if you're around a certain language enough, like you do start picking up on things.
Yeah, but I'm sure they don't talk about it much besides when they're with their family. You know what I mean? Like Alejandra speaks fluent Spanish. And I didn't even realize that. I was like friends with her for like 100 years. And then all of a sudden, like,
what?
Yeah, like I didn't know it until like many years into our friendship. I obviously know now.
I was like,
but like
living with her, you didn't know?
No, she never speaks it, like ever, unless there's a situation where, and I just wasn't around her in those situations. So it was like we were at a hotel and somebody was Spanish speaking and she just started like going off and I was like,
I think the coolest is
it was so cool. I was like,
the coolest is sign language for me.
I was like, I knew you spoke Spanish, but like I didn't know it was like that. Like you were a fluent Spanish speaker. That is so cool.
Yeah. The one that shocked me is Chill. When we went to Mexico.
Oh God, insane.
I'm like,
dude,
I never would Chill. One of our friends, Chill, who listens, Alexis. You funny bitch. I just love her. She's the most wild, loud, rambunctious person. And
she's hilarious.
You just would never expect, like, out of anyone to know another language, like, I wouldn't have expected her. Like, I don't know why. That's dumb of me, I suppose you could say. But we went to Mexico for Alejandra's birthday last June. And we are just in these places. And this, like, gringa just chirping away, like bantering back and forth, and
literally.
I'm like, I was like, where
she's like making fun of us from? Like to other Spanish speakers.
Yeah,
and we're like, what's happening?
Yeah, no,
and they're like all laughing, and she's like, haha, don't worry about it.
Oh my God, I was just like,
oh, so good.
God
amazes me.
I was blown away. So
it's literally something I would always wish that I would have learned when I was a kid.
Same,
so badly.
Kids going to language school, let me tell you,
so envious. It's incredible, honestly.
Yeah. So I just deeply appreciate language. And so for me to like, if I practiced a majority of my life, because she's 30, this is over half of her life. She's basically a fluent native sounding speaker. If then my boyfriend was like, hey, you have to hide that part of you. And the fact he didn't even think about the job, because that's like the first question his parents are going to ask, like, where are you from? What do you do? And it's going to be like, I'm an interpreter. What language?
Can't tell you. It's a secret. I actually work for the FBI and the CIA.
I'd have to kill you if I told you. Weird. Okay, top comment. I'm scared. Okay, good. You're the asshole. It will make an impact on her relationship with your family in the future. How are they going to react when they find out she's been able to communicate with them this entire time?
That's also a recipe for disaster. Imagine they're just like, this little bitch sucks in their own language.
Okay. Oh God.
And then she's like,
thanks. Hi. This was another Reddit story. It was about a guy who he had this crush on a girl from class, I believe. I'm going to butcher this because this is a long time ago Reddit read. And it was so cute. But he had this crush on a girl and ended up like speaking the same language as her. I think it was Mandarin or Korean, or they spoke the same language. And so he didn't tell her that he spoke the same language as her. And then when he met her family, he ended up saying hi to her family in that language. And she got so upset with him that he had like hid it. But I think it ended up being that she was more embarrassed because she had talked to a friend in front of him and been like, exactly. Yeah, he's cute. I like him. But he didn't admit it at that point either.
It's
and
sneaky.
So, yeah,
I've seen stuff like that.
It was this thing, and it's just like, but they ended up having a happy end or happy ever after, I believe. But it could go very, very wrong.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we touched on. It's like, well, what happens the next time when you do start talking? And it's like, what? You knew this last time?
I think the good moral of the story, though, is like also just like don't like talk badly about people or say things about them that you wouldn't say to their face, which is easier said than done sometimes when people just like are people. But you know, it's like it's funny because it's like I've heard this so many times that people will speak in a different language, like making fun of someone. It's like if you're not going to say it to their face, then like shut up.
I'm sorry, I was talking shit about you.
So funny. I mean, humans, whatever, we're shit talkers, but at the same time, it's like let's be a little bit less. Let's be a little nicer to each other. Come on.
Super weird. I just think this is unnecessary. I think like there's times in my life where I hate when people lie so unnecessarily. And I don't ever want to feel like I need to lie. Like every family has certain dynamics.
Yeah.
And so it's always like, just don't like blah, blah. And I'm like, but if I get asked, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Because that creates more drama for me.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing.
I think that's just like an issue. If that's an issue, like you should address that issue. But like don't make me out to be the bad guy, or don't force me to lie.
Yeah.
Why lie so unnecessarily?
That was like the absolute best thing. I feel like I've mentioned like Jeff a few times in this episode, which I haven't in a while. But
shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey.
But God, it's just like that was the one thing that I always could rely on that I fucking loved. Even when I didn't love it, I loved it. He didn't lie. Like he just didn't lie. And sometimes I would be like,
please lie.
I'd be like, just tell me you like the fucking shirt, bitch. But I honestly, I appreciate it so much. It's so refreshing. And it's just like, there's like a weight off your shoulder when you like genuinely feel like someone doesn't lie. Like it feels really good. And
yeah. Someone else, the next comment after, top comment only has 1.5K. So this is really small at this point. But the next comment after is, right? So you've been eavesdropping on our conversations this entire time and didn't say anything?
Right.
Which is like literally what you said. I'm just going to refresh, see if it's still there. Any 2.9K upvotes now. It was posted 7 hours ago. But no comments from OP on this one. I always think it's so interesting when people write in to Am I the Asshole or like any of these forums and they're like, am I wrong for this? Or am I the asshole for this? My friend heard the exact same situation. My friend told me I was an asshole, but what do you guys think? It's like, I think your friend who knows you pretty well would give you an honest judgment, but yet here you are thinking you're still in the right. And he did. He's like, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, what?
How could you not see something wrong with telling someone to censor themselves, not be themselves? That's like the real thing is that like, I even told my friend the other day, like, something that he will say, I was like, hey, I just want you to know that it kind of like makes me feel this way. And it's not about me when he says these certain things, but it kind of makes me feel this way. And he was like, I don't know what to say to that. And I was like, okay. But then what I said afterwards, at first I was like, that's kind of like a mean response. But then afterwards I was just like, no, like, I just want you to know, like, I'm not, because he was like, I just don't know if I can stop myself from doing that. That's just like a part of who I am.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't want you to censor yourself. And I know that that's like, you know, I want you to feel as free to like speak in front of me as possible. But I figured it's better that you know, like that you're aware that like sometimes when you speak about these certain things, it makes me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to censor yourself. I just want you to be aware. Just like be aware. Like that.
Yeah. And there's a way you can say things like more tactfully.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, you can still be honest.
Yeah.
But sometimes like people are like, oh, like, what's this? There's a saying. Oh my God, it's a really good one too. Like you can still tell the truth without being an asshole. It's all about how you say it.
Yeah.
It's not like, a lot of times it's not what you're saying.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know
like,
what it
you
is.
can say like, instead of being like, hey, that fucking sweater that you're wearing today, you should never wear that again. It's fucking hideous. I don't like the knit on it. It
real.
makes you look bad.
This feels a little too real.
No, I actually really like it. I was going to ask where you got it.
Sarah got it for me for Christmas last year.
It's really cute.
When did she leave? How long has she been gone for?
Forever now. It's so sad.
Has it been 1 year or 2 years?
Feels like forever.
Oh my God.
She moved a year ago.
Okay.
About. Yeah. Well, no, because she lived with Diana a little while after.
I'm so confused now. I don't even know what I did for Christmas last year. Yes, I do. Yeah. When did I move out of my apartment? Was it a year ago?
Yeah, you guys moved out in like November.
Okay, yeah, I got this for Christmas last year.
But then she came back and lived with Diana. So it's confusing.
Anyway.
Yeah, weird. But then you could say, hey, you know, there's not a nice way to say this, is there? I don't know. Be like, hey, okay. So say you were say you were asking me if we were going to go out, and you're like, hey, do you like this sweater? Versus like the other outfit I had on. And you could, instead of me saying all the mean shit I said about your sweater, it could be like, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but I think that other shirt looked better on you.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You don't have to be an asshole. Like the first example. Wow, that was really hard.
Yeah.
Okay, moving along. He sucks. I have a feeling, if this is all the accurate information, I have a feeling by her closing down a little bit, shutting down, maybe they'll break up. Because she seemed...
I thought you were going to say, maybe he'll figure it out and he'll apologize. Maybe they'll be done.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But she got really weird and went home, is how he described it. She's been kind of distant lately. So yeah, that's frosty.
Why does it have a shaker in it?
I don't know. It's from the dollar bin at Target.
I thought it was going to light up.
But I think they'll sort it out or they'll break it up.